Thank you for joining us for today's virtual expo showcase, More Than POS for Campus Dining and Catering. I'm John Ogle, Membership Engagement Manager for NACU. Joining me today from Infor are Casey Geachin, Account Executive, and Graham Hill, Solution Consultant. We also have Janet Reagan, who is the Assistant GM and Controller of the Prospect House at Princeton University. Casey, I'll turn it over to you. Welcome.
John, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here and presenting to NACU today. We value the opportunity to share Infor solutions for colleges and universities with the NACU membership. So as John said, I'm Casey Geachin. I will serve as your host today for this 1-hour presentation. I am joined by my Senior Solutions Consultant, Graham Hill. Graham Hill has over 16 years of experience with Infor's point of sale in higher education. So he'll have an opportunity to share some of our self-service options for you and your students this afternoon. Janet Reagan, as John said, is also going to be joining us. Janet is the Assistant GM for Catering at Princeton University, which is operated by Restaurant Associates. Janet is an enthusiastic user of Infor sales and catering software for the last 15 years. And if everybody could scroll over to the bottom of their screen and open their chat, my colleague Dan O'Dowd will be monitoring the chat for all Q&A today. We'll pause after each section to field any questions that you have about our solutions or Infor as a company. So the agenda for today's presentation, we'll start with a brief snapshot of Infor and our experience in higher education. We'll then introduce you to our point of sale, our sales and catering product, and our enterprise analytics for hospitality in higher education. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with Infor, Infor has over 90,000 customers globally, making us the third largest enterprise software application company in the world, headquartered in New York, New York. With $3.2 billion in annual revenues, what I'm most excited about the numbers on this slide are the $4 billion that Infor invests in our product development in the last 5 years. So what's that mean for higher education? Specifically in higher education, Infor has over 300 partners using our point of sale solution today, over 50 partners using our sales and catering product today, and over 125 stadium and arena customers, 50 of which are in higher education. What I will share with you today is how our 400 partners in higher education give you the flexibility to customize our solutions for your environment to meet the unique needs and the unique challenges presented to you. Infor's hospitality solution stack includes a full suite of products, both at the enterprise level and at the site level. So from an enterprise level, we have an industry-leading enterprise asset management system. That asset management software will help you to plan and manage assets from groundskeeping and buildings all the way through to your fleets of cars that you have on campus. We also have a full suite of finance tools to help your university, including planning, top-level financials at the corporate level, and then local finance for property-level financials. And we also have human capital management. This includes payroll, learning management system, talent science, and workforce management. This is to make sure that your employees are using their skill set to best serve your environment. Today, what we'll focus on are some of our site level solutions, as I said, point of sale, sales and catering, and table management for all dining and table reservations. And if we have time, we will get into our hospitality analytics product. What you'll see on this slide is that all of our products are hosted in Amazon Web Services, Infor being one of the very first corporate level partners with AWS to lift all of our solutions into their cloud. So at this point, I will take a moment. Dan, are there any questions in the chat about Infor as a company?
Nothing so far.
Okay, excellent. So let's get into our point of sale solution. Our point of sale solution here at Infor is comprised of registers, kiosks, flex terminals, and web-based online ordering. This is our cloud-based point of sale, helping our colleges and universities to create the best possible platform to serve students, faculty, and guests with efficiency, accuracy, and as I said, flexibility. Starting with our traditional cashier operated registers, we do have the ability to support true offline capabilities. So although a cloud-based product, you do have the ability, as we deal with university challenges of networking and infrastructure, to store any transactions locally that will get sent to your system once connectivity is restored. An important thing for this group that we're presenting to today is that we do have a campus card integration with all major campus card providers. But what I really love about our point of sales deployment model is that we've worked hard through the years to help our partners to develop a faster return on investment for their point of sale with a plug and play deployment model. What this means for you is that before the registers get shipped to your campus, they are sent to our facility in Nashua, New Hampshire, to be loaded with your revenue centers and your menus, and then shipped to you once they're ready for production. Once they get to campus, you can plug them in, work with our engineering team remotely to enter the IP address, and you are off to the races. You are using your point of sale with very little effort. We are fully point-to-point encrypted, certified on over 5 different payment gateways, giving you the flexibility to choose the partner of your choice for all credit card processing. And what I love about our registers is the simplicity that they have to use dual mode. What dual mode means to Infor from a point of sale perspective is that your cashier operated registers with just a couple clicks of the screen will toggle easily into kiosk mode for self-service. Infor self-service kiosks give you the opportunity to have a very flexible deployment model. In those times of high volume in your environment, you can have a cashier operating your registers. And when there's slower traffic or when it's a slower period, you can turn those registers right around and allow your patrons to come in and check themselves out as they will, repurposing your labor to restock shelves, to wipe things up, and to do other floor related tasks. These kiosks support both order only and order to pay functionality. The order to pay functionality has been really popular for us in the past few years as we've seen a growing number of pantry style or micro markets pop up across colleges and universities, both in the US and Canada. These are those self-service environments that are tailored to the grab and go nature that students and patrons have come to expect for the years. Think about walking through, I'm local to New Jersey, so think about walking through Newark Airport, grabbing and then just checking yourselves out with the barcode scanner and credit card reader and walking out the door to get your flight. With various form factors, we offer freestanding and countertop-based kiosks that can support both a portrait style and landscape style architecture. And again, using the same gateways that we use on our registers, you've still got point-to-point encrypted credit card transactions. Built out of that exact same kiosk interface is Infor's contactless online ordering. Driven by a QR code, our contactless online ordering is web-based, which gives you the ability to place an order remotely from your smart device, from the web, or any other way that you'd like to, as long as you've got connectivity to the internet. It is easy to roll out because it uses the exact same logic and setup as those self-service kiosks that you have in unit, giving you the ability to increase your average check size with item suggestions and item recommendations, and then giving your patrons the ability to pay either at pickup or via credit card. This has been really popular in the last year, as you can imagine, but also I think it's got some staying power as far as reducing lines and managing in-person traffic as your students are going from class to class and needing to get their meals on the go. It's effortless customer adoption because everyone's used to this sort of order-based model given the past 18 months. I'd love to share our client success story at George Mason University with you. This is an infographic that they've put together with our teams, and it shows all of the different dining outlets on campus today. You'll see a lot of recognizable logos from Starbucks to Dunkin' Donuts, Wing Zone to Panera, and everything in between. This slide represents the flexibility of our point of sale being able to be used in each of these different retail environments and meet the stringent concerns of the stringent requirements of each of the brands, both from a reporting perspective, but also a functionality perspective. The flexibility of our registers and kiosks to be used around a campus with so many different concepts speaks to the breadth and depth of the software itself. So at this point, I am going to turn it over to my solutions consultant, Graham Hill, who's going to take us through the self-service options that we have available for your students and patrons today. So Graham, if you wouldn't mind taking over the screen and sharing your product demo with us.
I will. Thank you very much, Casey. All right, let me know when you can see the Falafel Street Kitchen. Didn't quite click the last button. Here we go.
All right, we can see you now.
Perfect, great. So as Casey mentioned, what we want to do is walk you through a few of the self-service options that we have with Infor POS. And really excited to show our newest version of our mobile and web ordering solution. This is a version actually not quite released yet. It'll be out later this summer. But the reason I want to show you this is this has our integration to the meal plan system. So you'll see I've logged in using leveraging your campus's single sign-on. And you can see I've got the profile up here for Linda. And so if I just tap on that, you can see it connects to in real time to pull back the balances from the various accounts that I have with the meal plan system. So in this case, I've got some meal exchanges that I can use here at the Falafel Street Kitchen, as well as I could also use my campus box. Okay, so let's go ahead and walk through an order. Again, this is web-based. It's not app-based. We're not going to force your students, staff, guests, whomever to download an app. They can just use this web-based. I just happen to be rendering my browser so it looks just like a mobile phone. So I'm going to go ahead, click order now. And again, you create the menus that you want. Make the items available that you need based on your categories. You can have nice pictures, or we can use other icons. We can have featured items as I sort of scroll across the top as we ring things in. So I'm going to choose the burger combo. That looks pretty good to me. And again, we can force folks through just like we do on the point of sale, whether they're going to be choosing modifiers, different toppings. In this case, what are the things that I want to make up my burger? And let's go for the black bean burger. I can swipe down, add any extras to the burger. If I want to add a side, I can do that as well. And I'll add a bottle of water. Okay. We can also add some special instructions. In this case, I just want to add to the order. And really, just like any other online shopping experience, I'm filling up my cart and then I'm going to go pay for it. Right. So I've added my burger. That's all I need for it right now. I'll hit pay now. I get a summary of my order. I can choose, I can edit here if I just tap something wrong. And then I get to a pickup time. The pickup time that's available depends on the configuration of the revenue center, right? So, probably for a burger, I would probably want to set my prep time to be a little longer than 5 minutes, but you can choose the configuration that meets the needs. I'll hit pay now. And again, you see it connects. It gives me the option because I've already logged in, right? It knows the balances that I have and what I can do on this particular order. So in this case, I want to choose my Campus Bucks declining balance account. It's pre-loaded up, my first name, my last name, my email address, just where the receipt is going to go. Should also point out that it fully supports partial payment. So if my declining balance didn't have enough money for this order, or I was doing a meal exchange and I didn't have enough, or I chose sort of more items to make the balance larger than the meal exchange was worth, that's okay. It'll take what it can and then leave the balance to be paid through another method. And that could be another account that I have with the meal plan, or I could charge to my credit card. Okay, but I have enough on my declining balance account to pay for this one. So I'm going to hit place my order. And this is going to connect to the point of sale in real time, print to the grill kitchen printer, show up on the kitchen display, likely print a receipt next to the till that I can go ahead and pay for it. You'll notice the barcode here. I could actually scan this barcode at the point of sale to bring up my check and add more things to it as well. Okay, so just that simple. So I'm going to show you another workflow as well. And just give me a quick moment here. And I'm just going to bring my phone over. And like Casey showed you in the PowerPoint, is we can also launch this again, just with the web link. So I'm going to scan this QR code here on my computer and launch that. And it's going to bring up the app for me. Oh, I just got a little delay here. Here it comes. No, there it comes. Perfect. So again, a web link, right? So you could embed the web links for your different outlets inside your own app experience or inside your own web portal, whatever you choose. So I'm going to go ahead and order now on this platform. And again, same thing, I have my categories. So I'm going to choose my appetizers, and wings look pretty good. I can give my guest the option of adding in special instructions if I want. Let's go choose a beverage. You'll notice it says the cream soda is out of stock. So then this is connecting in real time to your point of sale. So on the point of sale, I've said the cream soda is out of stock. And so in real time, it'll reflect it inside the web ordering so your guest can't order it. So instead of a cream soda, I'll choose a Coke. I'll add that to my order. We'll hit pay now, we'll review. And again, you can see I can set my pickup time, hit pay now. And this time, instead of choosing, see, we also work with Apple Pay and credit card. This time, instead of paying for it in the app, I'm going to choose pay at the cashier. So if you want, you can have folks pay when they come down to pick up their food. So in the case of, say, a cafeteria where I go pick up my food at the grill station, I can grab more items and then go check out at the cashier. That's an option. You don't have to make that available. So let me choose that option there. So it fills in my customer information. I'll place my order, and again, connects to the point of sale, prints appropriately. Go ahead and pay for that, and I'll hit done. And again, when I walk up to the cashier, I can scan this barcode and then finish the order. Okay. There we go. So there we are, done with that one. So the next thing that I want to show you was our guest-facing kiosks. So let me choose this one here. So like Casey mentioned, if we want to have devices that we face in front of the guest, what I want to do is walk you through a few different modes. You'll notice on this one here that we have the scan barcode icon. So we can embed a barcode scanner right into the bezel of the kiosk, and then folks can scan their barcoded items. So I actually have a barcode scanner here. And so I'll scan to start my order. I'll get my Snickers and my Coke, some late night study snacks. And we can ring things in. We can tap in, search for items again as we want. So if you had some pre-made items that maybe aren't barcoded, people can search for items, and on-screen keyword will pop up. Okay, we'll hit continue here, again, connecting in real time to go through. I get my balance, continue on, and then choose my payment type. So if I have declining balance, if I'm allowed to use meal exchange here, I could do that, or I could do credit, or I could set up a payroll deduct if it's for staff ordering. So I'll choose my declining balance account. It prompts the user for how, is it, or do they tap RFID cards? Can they swipe? Whatever they can do. So just pretend you saw me swipe a card. Off that goes in, and whoops. Got a little error here, so I can go ahead and deal with that, or we can go back, choose a different method. So if that didn't work, maybe I have payroll deduction, and I can go ahead and scan my card, and off that goes. Okay. So the next thing I want to show you is another method for doing kiosks, and I'll just bring up a different kiosk. Now, rather than be barcode heavy, this one is going to be menu driven. Now I can still do both. You can see I still have the scan barcode icon here, but in this case, when I hit tap to start, I get into a menu driven mode. So more just is like made to order items, whatever I happen to be doing. I'll click on the burgers here. I get to my options, and I can swipe down to view all the different options that I have. You can get some nice pictures of your food. I'm going to choose the black and blue burger. In this case, we get nice description, some menu. We can include nutritional information if you want. So I'll tap on that, and get grams of fat, amount of protein, all the different items that you want to put onto. You can make that available to your guests. Okay. Same modifiers would be available as well if I wanted to put modifiers that we saw on the order now, but I'll add that to my order as well. And then I can go check out. Now, because this is a made to order, after I get to my summary, I'll hit continue on here. And in this case, it's going to ask me to enter my name, because you're going to make the food, and you're going to call it out when you order. If this was a real kiosk, you would have an on-screen keyboard pop up, so someone could go ahead and do that. Again, get to my payment accounts here, and again, we can get to the declining balance, and we'll see if I have enough balance on here for this one. Choose this one. Off that goes my declining balance, and looks like I better recharge that one. I'm running out of money here on my declining balance, but there, you can go through and set that up and call out my name when it's ready. Okay. So the last thing I want to show you is just a few different options that we can have for workflow. So I'm just going to go into the configuration panel for the kiosk here, and usually that's put in a secure PIN code here to access this. and I'm going to tap on the food delivery method. So here's all the different options that you can do to manage the workflow. So when I order at the kiosk, is the customer going to pick up the food? And what am I going to, how am I going to call out an order number? Are we going to do guest name, which you just saw? Am I going to ask for a mobile number and then text them when their food is ready? So if you have a kitchen display system, when the item is bumped from the expediter screen, we can have the system automatically text to SMS so they can know their order is ready. Or am I going to deliver to the customer? And in this case, am I going to ask them, are they going to grab a tent card or a seat number? And then you can customize the message. So you can really build the kiosk to match your necessary workflow. So I'm not going to change anything there. And then the last thing I wanted to show you was just one other thing that we can do is we can also set the kiosk into pre-order mode. So this gets really popular in the cafeteria environment where you want to have order kiosks, pick up the food from the grill or the sandwich maker, deli, whatever it's deli station, whatever it happens to be, and then I can check out with the cashier. And again, the kiosk will print a barcode that can be scanned at the cashier. They can open up the check, take the payment, add other items. Okay, so that was just a quick little look at all the guest service facing options for the Infor POS. With that, I'd like to pass it back to Casey.
Thank you, Graham. And while I am going to share my screen again, Dan, are there any questions in the chat?
Got a couple. What is tech support? What does Infor offer in terms of tech support for their software for the point of sale system?
Yeah, so 24/7, 365 tech support for whatever the solution is. So the software, or if it's hardware, our tech support team can handle the hardware issues as well. Typically for purchasing of hardware, we have most folks choose a advanced exchange warranty, meaning as soon as we figure out it's a hardware issue and we don't spend too much time on it, you have a device on the plane out there for the next business day.
Okay. Question from Bill McGee. How many campus accounts can it handle?
Unlimited campus accounts. There is no real particular limit to the number of accounts that you have. I assume that means for the payment account. So whatever in your system is you have, we program the appropriate tenders on the POS to match those accounts.
Okay. And then a question from Ryan, is the point of sale limited to one brand or can you have multiple franchisees as in a food court?
Multiple. We have a new release of the kiosk. Probably, I guess that question is in relation to the kiosk, where you can have one kiosk and then you choose the brand that you're going to connect to. So that's a great question. That's in the next release that'll be out with that new version of the Order Now that I showed you.
Okay. Another one has showed up from Kim. Can you discuss the integration between the various card systems? How does this work with TouchNet, Seaboard, or Transact?
Yeah, so we integrate with all of those options. So depending on this, it's probably a very detailed conversation, which we might want to schedule for another time, but we integrate with all those options, whether it's a meal exchange or a cash equivalency, declining balance, we can program in those options. Each of them work a little bit differently, but for most options, we can handle all their accounts.
Okay. Can your self-serve kiosk be set up to allow students to deposit funds to their account?
Currently, no, we don't have that option on the kiosk.
Okay. That's all we have right now.
Great.
All right.
Casey, take it away.
Yeah, thanks so much, Dan and Graham. What we'll do now is, can you see my screen, Graham?
I can, looking at the George Mason side. There it goes, yeah.
Okay. All right, so if there are no more questions in the chat, we will transition into our sales and catering products. So Infor added a sales and catering solution for event and table management back in 2018 with the acquisition of a company out of Northern California called Reserve Interactive. Rebranded as Infor Sales and Catering, it's an operation-driven sales and catering package which is unique and customizable to the operation itself, being the only event and table management software that is designed around the entire event lifecycle. So what does that mean for you? It means that from inquiry to invoice, our software is able to help you to manage and execute as well as invoice on your event. So we say inquiry to invoice, your event is covered with Infor Sales and Catering. Unique to Infor Sales and Catering is this 2-in-1 framework where you have a full CRM in the back end of your software. This means your client relationship management. So the time that you get an initial inquiry, whether on the web widget that you've added to your website or over the phone, you are able to track communication and send documents back and forth, accept electronic signatures, and handle any custom correspondence that you're looking to handle for the planning and execution of your event, whether it's for catering services, alumni relationships, whether it's in your athletic facility, any event that you're looking to host, whether by the institution itself or a third party, such as a wedding on premises, you're able to manage all of that through our one back office. The other differentiator for us in this space is the way that we price it. So many catering packages that you'll find in this space are priced by user seat, which we have found to be a little bit of a security risk as people will end up sharing login information. We are licensed at the module level from an enterprise perspective so that you can allow anybody that you need to touch an event to access the software themselves. This includes any chefs for building out the menus and food and beverage costing, as well as anybody from HR or any sort of labor scheduling that you're looking to accomplish, as well as IT. So anytime that you've got an event where you require some sort of audio visual equipment and you want them to be able to plan from the back office of this software, they can have their own login to the software and the system as well. So from an auditing and a security perspective, you're maintaining the integrity of the information that exists within the product itself. A true enterprise solution, you're able to view your calendar of events for all of your planning needs in a single enterprise view. So you'll be able to see all of the events that are happening across campus in one screen. And then finally, one thing that our clients love about our software is the ease of reporting. This includes the ability to customize your reports, both in the way that you need to see them and with different date ranges, filters, and formats to get the information that you need for financial reporting, revenue forecasting, and performance analysis. The other module that we have from our Infor Sales and Catering product is the reservation management. So this will include all of your table reservations and any sort of faculty clubs or dining locations, pubs that you have on campus where you require any reservations or ask for reservations, as well as a creative use for this system that was discovered this past year by one of our universities in New England, is the ability to schedule equipment reservations in the rec center. So in the screenshot with the colors below, you'll see the green and the purples. This is where a university has used this scheduling software for students, faculty, staff, patrons of the rec center to reserve their equipment, whether it's a treadmill, a workout room, an elliptical machine. They are able to book a reservation knowing that by the time that they get to the rec center that day, there is going to be a machine there with their name on it. You can also block out or black out any do not reserve time. So you'll see in the gray, do not book means that it's time to clean the equipment, wipe it all down. So really intuitive software, really flexible software to meet the needs, the unique needs of universities. From the reservation detail screen, you're able to see any sort of special requests or comments that your patron may have made at the time of booking, so that if it's in a restaurant or a faculty club, your host or hostess can see any sort of special requests, which includes any sort of special tables, any sort of dietary restrictions that they've added at the time of booking or the time of reservation. You're also able to, from the floor plan screen, see live metrics. This is pulse statistics about how that meal is progressing. And finally, again, the same enterprise calendar view so that you can plan for your day, your week, your month across the enterprise. So with that, I would like to introduce my friend and partner, Janet Reagan. Janet joins us today from Restaurant Associates at Princeton University. And as I mentioned in our intro slides, she has been using our software for 15 years, both at Princeton and in previous employment. So she's a big fan. And Princeton University themselves is a NACU member since inception in 1993. So Janet, at this point, I can turn it over to you.
Hi, can you hear me?
We can hear you. You sound
Okay,
good.
yay. I hope everybody's doing well. And Casey, I mean, you covered it all and then some, and it was so exciting to see what this program can do for so many other parts of food and beverage and hospitality in itself. I use just the catering software and the restaurant reservations part of it, and it is just absolutely amazing. So I'll go on with and I loved how Casey said my enthusiastic partner. I am, every time you say reserve, I'm just, or sorry, see that I go back to the infancy of the company. Infor, I absolutely love this company. So I've been using it for over 15 years. I started at a little winery in South Jersey. We were booking events out of the book, literally out of the book, 12 to 4 slot location, 6 to 10 location. And then we were looking at quite a few different catering softwares at that point. This was back in 99, 2000, somewhere around there. And Reserve was the obvious choice. So I'm speaking properly, Reserve back at that time, because it understood both back of the house and front of the house needs and communication requirements. So it was an obvious choice. We went up and running. We were on the desktop version, and it was, we hit the ground running with that. It was amazing. I left the winery in 2005, I believe, and I went to another facility. We did not have this company, which was sad. And then I came to Princeton University in 2007. We had another catering software that was not acceptable. And in 2008, I strong-armed for Reserve. And again, it's a it's an amazing company. It's very easy to use. I was the admin. I still am the admin on the program for our facility. And I did the training for our employees there, and they all caught on real easy. So we use it for our catering. So we have 3 physical properties, and each property has different locations within the property. So we use, the module of the sites and then the locations within each one. And then we also have an off premises where we go all over campus. And so we basically use it as 4 different site locations, our sites and then locations within. We also use it for our guest rooms in our bed and breakfast. We have just 9 guest rooms in one of our locations. We use it for that, and also for our dining reservations in our a la carte restaurant. And that manages the reservations both manually and online, and it manages our floor plans as well. And then the life cycle of the meals, and then back to catering, the life cycles of the catering, but I know Casey went over all of that. And then conferences and special events. Yep, we do all of that too. And we use Reserve for all of the planning from inquiry to invoice, just like Casey said, and everywhere in between. So Prospect House at Princeton is our private faculty club for faculty and staff. And in this particular building that you see there, that's actually a shot of the back of the house. But to the right is that glass area. That's our a la carte restaurant called the Garden Room. And then we have 9 other spaces in that space that we can do catering events. We can do all separate events. We can do all one event, and Reserve helps us get through all of that and everywhere in between. We do events for both the university and for private affairs, and private affairs is just members. So unfortunately, we're not open to the public, but we handle all of that. The restaurant, I went over the online and manual reservations. They send out it sends out confirmations when it's entered in either manually or online. So that's easy. Floor management, we can set it up with different amounts of servers and their stations. So that is very easy. We can see where they are in their meal. They've just been seated. Have they been waiting, etc. Catering, booking spaces. So that's really easy. We can do, I think they're still called parent. Sorry, I was out of the catering office for 4 years, and I'm AGM now. I was catering director for 10 years, and now AGM. So I think it was the parent spaces and then you have all the children spaces. Is that still correct, Casey?
Yeah, there is that relationship so that you
Okay,
can control
good.
everything at that child level if you need to, but it all will default to the parent site as well.
Yep. Okay, great. Okay. So, I mean, I use it, but I wasn't sure if the terms were still the same. So good. So you can book, you can blend different spaces together. So that's a really easy thing to do. Event proposals, we've done several for each event. We can send out and attach it to the history. So you track the communications, see what was sent out. If you send out 10 different proposals, you can actually see all 10 different proposals and not be embarrassed to ask, oh wait, which proposal were you looking at? You can see exactly what you sent. You can attach the floor plans and any custom documents in there. And also, the inventory and equipment. This is a really good tool too. So if we have podiums and we only have one, but we need 3 in the house, we can reserve the podium through the equipment rental part. And it can, if I try to book it again, it can say, oh, nope, you don't have any left in your inventory. So that's been really helpful too. Okay, I think I covered everything on there, right? Sorry, I go off when, all right.
No, I love it. You're doing great.
Slide you over here. Okay, now this is a picture of Palmer House, and we're actually working out of Palmer House right now because Prospect House is undergoing some cleaning and renovations in there. So Palmer House is we do catering here as well, and this is our 9-room guest house here, where again, we use Reserve to manage the catering spaces within this house, and it also manages the 9 different guest rooms. We process billing through here, we process the planning, and it's same thing pretty much as Prospect House. So yeah, the user-friendly reporting, this is awesome because you always want that certain report that you're trying to track, and you might not necessarily need all this other information. You might just need a piece of information or a whole bunch of pieces of information. So you really can do that with any of the reports that Infor has. And if it's not there, you can create it. So if you understand the back part of it, you can create your own reports. And if you don't understand it, then you ask the tech support team, and they are right there to help you every step of the way. So it's user-friendly and really, really very easy to use. If I can do it, really anyone can do it. So I think that's it for there, right? Okay. So this last one, what I love about Infor Sales and Catering. This was kind of funny because I sent this to Casey and I had that I Heart Reserve Infor at the bottom there. So I sent that to her because I always joke at home that I want to put I Heart Reserve Infor on my shirts, because they're just, when I get off the phone with them or off the chat, I'm just like, wow, okay, my life is so much easier now. I can move on. So the customer service, from year one that I've used this company has been hands down just absolutely amazing. I'm dialing back, and I've used them for a lot of years, and I've asked a lot of silly questions, and I can't even think of any time that I wasn't over the top pleased with my responses. So we started, as I told you, I started on a desktop version of Reserve, and then we moved to a cloud version of Reserve. There was no hiccup there. I was really nervous about that, but I made it through. And then through the transition from Reserve to Infor, I was really nervous because I was moving to a big company. Was I going to get that small company customer service? I got it. And I got it. So I'm super excited because I get to really even talk to the same team that I've been working with for so many years. So that made me really happy. So if there's a function that is not in the product yet, so if you're like, oh, I wish this could do this, if put in a request, and they're going to make it work. They will make it work. And if they can't, they always find a workaround. I can't tell you how many times there was something that a platform maybe didn't support, but there was a workaround. So, and we always figured that out. They always deliver. Flexible and easy to use. Well, I mean, I hope I drove that point home. It's super flexible, and especially for all different types of operations and events. Super easy to use. As I said, if I can do it, you can too. And my little quote on the side there, Infor understands the complexity of hospitality within the university. And it really is the backbone to what we do and how we do it. It really makes the difference. So I heart Infor. So I guess that's it, right? That was
Yeah, that's it. Thanks so much, Janet. And you touched actually on a really great thing that I didn't even mention, which is the fact that support is 24/5, but you always have this chat feature available from the cloud-based version of the software. So anytime you even have a very basic question, or if it's something you need explained to you, you can open that little chat function, say, hey, can somebody give me a quick call? I have a question, and they'll call you back right away. So really, we pride ourselves on our support, and it's been a reason that clients like yourself, Janet, have come back to us and stay with us as they sort of transition around different hospitality environments and universities.
Yeah, we actually, just real quick, I'll end this. We've looked at several companies, and this just by far, the response is just, it's above par. So thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you so much for your presentation today.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, I think that is the end of our sales and catering slides. Dan, are there any questions for Janet or you or myself about our sales and catering product in the chat?
We have one from Bill. Says, will it interface with Banner/PeopleSoft for invoicing?
You know, I think we'll have to get back to Bill on that. So why don't you take down his name, and we'll make sure to follow up after the presentation.
Yeah, I think we'll do that. I will say that the solution does have the capability for your customers to pay online directly through your merchant account. We use Stripe and WorldPay as our primary processors right now. Additionally, there is the ability to have your customers sign their documents, their contracts through the solution. So there is some stuff built in. We also have an open API so that data can move back and forth from other web-based solutions that you're using. But we can certainly follow up with specifics on Banner and PeopleSoft.
Yeah, and I'll write that down right now. Okay.
I don't have any other sales and catering questions right now. I have a couple that came in after we switched over from point of sale. Graham, are you available to answer a few more? I know you have to drop a little early.
No, I'm good. Like we can go through them.
Okay, so the first one's from John. It says, do accounts automatically cascade for a transaction?
Depends on the meal plan system that you're using. So they don't all work the same. So some we can send the search path for the accounts that go through. John, knowing where you're asking from, I'd have to follow up to be sure if we can do it with your meal plan system. So we'll get back to you on that.
Okay. The next one is from Scott. Does this integrate with any menu management software? And the examples are Seaboard, Food Pro, etc.
Yeah. So Infor POS, we have a series of APIs or programming interfaces, application programming interfaces, excuse me, where we can import menu information from those systems. So right now, we've certified integrations with eTech, and we're in the process of doing one for Yellow Dog. So it's up to those companies to get our API documentation and write that. So it's there. So we just depend on those solutions. And then we round trip the information. So for eTech, for example, we get from them the menu information. So you know, single source of truth for the menu items is in eTech. We sell the items on the point of sale, and then we send back the journal information to them. So round trip the information.
Okay. From Ryan, does the system handle meal credits from TouchNet One Card?
We
Example,
do.
board plans for dining hall.
We do, yes.
Okay. And then the last one is for the system process gift cards for vendors like Starbucks.
Yes, yeah, Starbucks is one of the supported gift card platforms that we have.
That's all we have right now.
Great.
Awesome. All right, so now we have about 10 minutes left, and I do want to make sure to leave a little bit of time for John at the end, but I would love to introduce you to our enterprise analytics platform. Our enterprise analytics platform is comprised of two different components, the first being a data lake and the second being a data visualization solution that is infused with artificial intelligence. So our analytics product is Infor, and it is giving you the ability to combine data from existing business systems and desktop discovery tools to create invaluable insights. And I love this for both an operational big picture, what are we doing as a whole, as well as the granular level details, what are we doing specifically, and then understand how one affects the other. So let's start with Infor's data lake. As Gartner said in 2019, digital transformation calls for analytics to be infused into every role, every business process, every decision, and every action. And so we're seeing this enormous digital transformation across industries, including higher education. So our data lake gives you the ability to store third-party raw data in one single place. So this means that you can leverage existing systems and existing investments by pulling the raw data that you have that's existing in those systems. And what that is important for in higher education is if everybody starts to move their business applications up into the cloud, you're going to need to store data from those older systems for whatever statute is required by your specific institution or by your state, whoever the governing body is there. So you can store your historical data there instead of paying a bunch of different companies to continue to have access to that data. Again, leveraging those existing investments so that you've got a faster time to that return on investment. We also, making your investments work for you, interface with third-party data visualization tools. If you think about this data lake and where that information goes to, we do have the ability to work with third-party visualization tools. But the idea here is that you are able to pull from virtually any system to store that raw information. The second component is that data visualization tool, which will allow you to achieve that deeper understanding and track progress over time, comparing insights from historical data and previous data across many systems to how you're performing today. This is basically delivering data analytics as a service to your campus. So this is going to combine your data from that data lake or from those disparate systems with artificial intelligence that is baked into our software and known to us by our patented automated data refinement. And what that's going to do is to create intentional and actionable business analysis so that you've got in-context analytics at that point of decision when you need it. So two of the screenshots below, I actually stole from a solutions consultant during a demo that we had done for a university a couple weeks ago. The bottom image is actually that dashboard that we've pre-built. That will include dining sales, dining growth over time. What are my campus card purchases and how many campus card transactions have I seen over my defined period of time? And then the screenshot right above with all of the different bar graphs on it, that is the student dining analysis dashboard that we've built for a few of our university partners. So this gives you the ability to really drill down into that information from different points of sale across campus to say, you know, what is sophomore female athlete biology major doing on a Tuesday afternoon? Or what is the freshman class doing on a Sunday afternoon? Are they staying on campus? Are they going home to do their laundry? Where is their activity and what does that mean for my campus? How can I reach more students in more ways in context? So just a quick snapshot of some of the capabilities of our analytics platform. And then understanding how we're different from other platforms that are out there. So in general, you're going to start with those existing data sources that you have and need at least 4 different solutions and a few different data scientists to perform that data extraction and transfer, the data cleansing and transformation into modeling, the semantic layer, which is, like we said, that sort of infused artificial intelligence to say, here are my business rules, here's the information that I want to get out of the data that exists in its raw format today. And then how do we turn that into insights that we can use, actionable insights in a dashboard view or a dashboard format. Infor combines all of those pieces together. So everything in green there you can do within Infor's analytics platform, from the data lake with the corresponding data visualization tools. You have a full analytics platform, and with our pre-built dashboards, a lower total cost of ownership and a faster time period to get to that return on investment. So that's a little bit about our analytics platform. Again, we've got about 5 minutes left. Dan, maybe time for one question on analytics. Is there anything in the chat about analytics?
So we did have one in the chat from Jen. It said, do we have data storage in Canada? And Graham replied in the chat, said currently all data is stored in AWS, which is Amazon Web Services in the US. The point of sale doesn't store any personal information of students or guests, so that usually satisfies privacy concerns.
All right, excellent. And we can follow up with Jen with our solutions consultants on the analytics platform. We've had a couple of similar conversations regarding the data storage in Canada as well. So that's a great question, and just let Jen know that we will get back to her. All right, so with our remaining couple of minutes, I think that you've seen from a product perspective that we have the ability to meet the complex challenges and be flexible for our clients from a product perspective. But why do you want to partner with Infor? First and foremost, we understand higher education because we have over 400 partners in the higher education space today. We understand the opportunities that you have as a university, as well as give you the flexibility in our different products to suit those unique challenges that are presented to you on a regular basis, month over month, semester over semester, year over year. We are comprised of industry experts who understand the pain points, processes, and then your desired outcomes. Infor is a very industry-specific company, focusing on those industries that we do well in, one of those being higher education and hospitality. We also have a record of enduring and lasting success. So we have a long history of client input driving our roadmap, and then also having employees that have come from our venues in the field. So they're going to help us to drive and dictate the development efforts that go into the roadmap, giving you a purpose-built solution. And then finally, the fact that culture is critical. Here at Infor, we are large enough to execute, as you've seen over the last 5 years, $4.2 billion invested in our product development, but we're small enough to care. Like you heard from Janet today, it's the same great teams that you're used to dealing with. You know the person on the other end of the phone, you know your account executive personally. We have the culture behind the products to care about your environment and your success. So the resources and capital to be a long-term partner to your institution for the ability to match your culture and put culture at the center of all that we do. So with that, I want to thank you all for your time today. Here is some contact information for my partners and myself. So Samantha Albitsky, I'm sure a lot of you know her very well. She's been with Infor for over 8 years at this point. She supports the Western US and Canada. She's actually on site with the client today, so she was unable to join us. Dan, who's been so graciously monitoring our Q&A in the chat, he covers the Southeastern US. And then myself, Casey Beeshan, I am your senior account executive focused on the Northeastern US and Canada for higher education. With that, John, I will turn the presentation back over to you.
Great, thanks, Casey. That was very informative, really good detail today. Thank you to all our viewers for your attention. We've got some upcoming events. You can check out our list of virtual events on our website at www.nacu.org. Special thanks to our showcase presenters today, Casey, Graham, Janet, and Dan monitoring the chat. I'm John Ogle with NACU. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.